Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a combination of some new makeup or new to me makeup and some old makeup, some makeup I haven't used in quite a while. I got the new Rogue palette from Fenty Cosmetica as a gift recently and I have not tried this yet. I also had just finally tried the new Tower 28 mascara and the new Givenchy concealer. And then I also wanted to just try using some stuff that I haven't grabbed in a while. That was my original plan, was using makeup I haven't used in a while. So I'm just gonna play with some makeup and see what I think about these products. And if you're new here, my name is Colin. I am a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a definite interest in indie makeup and high-end makeup. And I tend to take a pretty analytical approach to my makeup reviews and my makeup collection as a whole. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. Okay, so I'm gonna do my eyes first in case I get any fallout. I don't have anything on my face right now except for a little bit of moisturizer earlier and some brow gel. And I am currently drinking a Red Bull because I feel kind of tired. It's been a long day off. But I also feel like I might be losing my voice or something. Something's wrong with my voice today. But I was very graciously gifted the new Fenty Cosmetica palette. This came out a few months ago, I think 2 months ago, and I really wanted it. It's a very me color story, but I did not pick it up because I didn't have the money at the time. And a subscriber slash friend, someone that I talk to pretty regularly on Instagram, offered to send this to me as a celebratory gift for getting the temp job the job I just got, because I haven't had funding for my PhD because things are awful since the fall, so I haven't been paid in months. So getting a job, even if it's only for the next 3 or 4 months, was a very big deal. This is the Rogue palette. I haven't swatched or done anything with it, but it is so pretty. It is very me. It's blues, purples, and greens, all colors I love. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna swatch the shimmers just to kind of see what I'm in the mood for and then do a look. So I'm just gonna swatch the 4 shimmers real quick to see what I wanna do. I would say Trickster looks like purple with a pink shift in the pan. Sleight of Hand looks really interesting, like very blue to magenta-y in the pan, like as I do this. And then Sneak Attack looks dark and kind of blue-green. And Deception looks blue with purple maybe? So let's see. So that feels very creamy. That is really pretty. That is definitely like a blue-pink duochrome multi-chrome. Sleight of Hand, also very creamy. Again, like blue, pink, but like less pink. This one has like some maybe champagne, kind of like a brighter color in it. And this one is smoother and very much just like bright, like bright magenta to a purple. This one feels a little thicker and is really beautiful, like a dark wine color with a shift. And then Deception, that is very blue, blue, gold, teal, that kind of color range. These are really pretty. So I'm gonna swatch these in my hand. It's very pretty, very reflective. Okay, that one's a little thinner, more toppery. That one will be nice by itself, like even without the mattes, I would wear that. Just like that and some mascara. Okay, those are really beautiful. So you've got one more toppery shade, iridescent kind of shade, and then the other 3. I think I'm gonna go with the blue. I'm just in the mood for blue today. But this one, the wine base with like the blue-green shift is really pretty, and this is like pink base with kind of a bright shift, like a bright blue. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the blue color, so that was Deception. So I'm gonna go wipe off my hands and I'll be right back. Okay, so I do wanna use the blue, but I think I'm not gonna use the blue matte. I think I'm gonna use the more green mattes and just kind of see how it looks next to each other. If I'm using a more traditional shimmer like a Natasha Denona or Pat McGrath, I often do the shimmer first and just use a matte to blend the edges. But for these kind of shades, I like to start with the matte. So I'm gonna put some primer down and go in with the two mattes. Okay, so first I'm gonna grab a fluffier brush. I'm gonna pick up Stealth, the lighter shade. I wanna see how well that works on my skin tone. I think it would work well with the blue or the green because it's kind of that minty color, but it's so pale, I don't know how well it'll show up on me. So I'm just gonna put that right here. Okay, that is bright, but it's showing up. Okay, I like Fenty Cosmetica's formula. I have two other palettes that I bought myself, the Druid and the Bard. I did not get the Sorcerer because it was pink heavy and I just don't really like pink eyeshadow on myself. But it looked really beautiful. And there were shades in it I liked. I just didn't want the whole palette, you know? And then this one spoke to me, but I did not have the budget for it at the time. But this is a really pretty shade. The owner is really nice as well. We talk to each other on Instagram sometimes. They're local. So I'm in Seattle and they're based out of Redmond, which is right across the lake. So there's a giant lake. If you don't know the Seattle area, Lake Washington is this very large lake that separates Seattle from the rest of the area. And Bellevue and Redmond are literally across the lake. That's where Microsoft started and is from as well. I've lived over there in the past. I've lived in this area off and on since I was a kid, so. That's a really pretty bright minty shade. I really like that. I'm gonna grab another brush. So I'm gonna grab this smaller Sigma blending brush. It's been stained green, even though it's been washed, but so I'm gonna pick up the dark green shadows and I'm gonna put that on the outer part of my lid and crease and see how that looks. It's really pretty. I wanted to film today's video as like a using old makeup, like makeup I haven't touched in a while, but for eyeshadow, I've already been doing those revisiting videos, and I also kind of wanted to do one of those, but I just don't have a lot of time today, and I filmed 2 videos yesterday. So I figured, and I wanted to film something with this palette, so I figured I'd combine and do something old, something new, and kind of a mix. Yeah, I think the mint shade will work well with both this and the blue, especially to blend the edges, so that's really nice. I think Jordan, the owner, does a really good job at developing their color stories. And I've been wearing like one and done shadows every day for work just because I haven't had time for anything else. Like I've worn colorful makeup a couple times, but and like they don't care. But I just haven't had time. So I've been wearing like really simple one and done looks or just no makeup, like bronzer on my lid, maybe mascara. So it's nice to play with something sparkly and fun. I just haven't had the time. I have talked about this in my last couple videos, but this new job is fine. But since I've been recovering from long COVID for the last year and a half, having like a job where I'm out of the house and walking around a lot, and I'm in an office, but I'm like going between things and going up and down the stairs and also commuting to the light rail station and everything. It's been a lot, and I just haven't had the time or energy for anything beyond that. Like I come home, don't even cook some nights, we just get some food, and then I kind of crash because that's all the energy I have. Okay, I like that general shape. Really like this dark green. I think this would pair nicely with some of the shades in the Druid palette. I don't know if these are magnetic, like where you could build your own. I don't remember, but if they are, that would be cool, because then you can mix and match. And I'm just gonna take that stealth shade and I'm gonna blend the edges over here. There's a black shade too, so you can really add some depth if you want. I have no plan for this look in mind at all, other than I know what base I'm gonna wear, and I grabbed 2 different blushes. So I could mix and match as appropriate, but it's all blushes and bronzers and things that I haven't grabbed in quite a while. Okay, so I'm liking the way this looks. I'm gonna try a little bit of the black just to see. I wanna see how, or is it like a really dark blue? I don't actually remember. Normally I like research things beforehand. I also normally swatch everything, and I'm not. Yeah, that's like a really dark blue. Okay, so I will put a little bit there, but that's really nice. It's really pretty. You can do a nice blue monochromatic look. I'm really excited to use Subtle, the lilac-y shade. I think that would look really nice with the blues. Also, I don't know if any of my subscribers or followers play video games, but I did finally buy the new Zelda game last night and started playing that, and I am very excited. I loved Breath of the Wild, so I'm very excited to like play more. I never beat the expansion for Breath of the Wild. I bought it. With like the trials thing, I'm not the best. I like video games, but I'm not the best at them. I like them for the visuals and the story and all of that, but I'm not technically the best. Like technical stuff. So like the trials where they take away all of your armor and you have to start from scratch and just survive. That kind of stuff I'm not good at and stresses me out a lot. So I never got very far. There'd be like a couple points where I would just get to the same area and I just couldn't get past it. I did put a little bit of glitter primer down. I find these kind of shadows work best with that underneath. And then I'm gonna pick up Deception on my Rephr 21. I have a bunch of these now. They're my favorite brush for shimmers of all kinds. Oh, that's so pretty. Yeah, this would look really nice with the blues or the lilac. If you wanted it to be a little more monochromatic, even though it's shifty, but there's a little bit of, I like the contrast of blue and green, so. But there's definitely that lilac color in there too. I have not gotten very far in Zelda. I just finished the first like area, the like tutorial area. I saw someone say like, this is where you spend the first hour or so, and I was like, I was there for hours. Like, I'm a slow explorer. Like, I'm like 3 or 4 hours in, and I just left. In Breath of the Wild, I tended to avoid the roads because I'd get like attacked by things, so I often would just climb up mountains really slowly and then just climb down the other side to get to the area I wanted. And explore that way. So it was not the fastest exploration then either. Really, really love this shimmer. I think the shimmer would also look really pretty with just a neutral base, like some browns. And then, you know, of course, it's gonna look good with blues or purples. Yeah, purple mattes would be really nice. Okay. So that is all for the eyes right now. I don't have any fallout, so that is good. Now I'm gonna do my base. So for primer, I grabbed a primer that I haven't used in a while and it's almost dead. So this is the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow Face Primer. This is their version of the Milk Hydro Grip. I tried this before. I tried the Milk Hydro Grip. I like both a lot. Yeah, this is almost dead. But the milk is definitely a little more grippy. This has a similar, like, I think I like this one. I don't know if I like it more. This one just feels like I'm putting a gel on my face. And it's hydrating and it adds a nice glow, but it's not as grip, it doesn't have the grip of the milk. But I don't like silicone-based primers or oil-based that much. I'm very sensitive to textures on my face, and silicone ones tend to feel heavy and they make my face feel greasy. Like, I managed a fast food restaurant for a couple years when I was in my early 20s, and it makes me feel like I just stood over the grill or the fryer, and I really hate it. And I kind of like that this doesn't have it does have a grip, but it has less grip. So it feels very lightweight, like as it's settling, I don't feel like I'm wearing anything. And then for my base, I'm going to be doing a combination of something old and something new. So I am going to be using the Givenchy concealer, and then I'm going to use the Kosas foundation, which I don't grab for very often and haven't for a while because it's so thick. I don't like how thick it is. The actual finish and shade match and everything, that's fine. And I like the way my skin looks with it, but I don't like the way it feels because it's so thick. But they do recommend that you use it with a sponge, and I didn't own one until, like, I've had one in the past, but it got gross and I threw it away. But I recently bought a couple from Refer, and I've used this one once or twice, and I liked it, and I figured I should try the Kosas foundation with a sponge, since I don't think I've done that. And I think I'm gonna do my concealer first today. So this is 280 in the Givenchy, what is it? Prism Libre Skin Caring Concealer. So I'm just gonna put a little bit there, a little bit there. I've been really liking this. I've been wearing it basically as foundation. If you're new here, I often don't, on a day-to-day basis, don't wear foundation. I just wear concealer. And I have two, like I have two from Kosas. And I will wear the lighter one under my eyes and one that's a little bit more skin tone match, at least with the Kosas, the rest of my face. And I'll just like kind of spot conceal where I need. Kind of like Lisa Eldridge's Patchwork foundation. I just put a little bit of coverage where I need and blend it into my skin. And if you have a good enough shade match and do thin layers, you can't really tell. Okay, so let's try this Shape the Kosas foundation. I do get PR from Kosas. But I have bought a lot of stuff from them too. I'm just using the back of my hand, putting a little on the sponge. And they do sell a sponge. You can see my forehead is much darker than the rest of my face. My like forehead and body are one color, and like my lower face is a different. I just don't like the sensation of using a sponge. Like, I know some people do, and I guess it feels kind of cooling when it's hot out. Like today it's 88 degrees, and I currently have the air conditioning off because it's a portable thing right next to me, like 6 inches from my leg. So if I had it on, all you would hear would be that fan. So I had to turn it off to film, but thankfully I got the apartment nice and cool before. I am much more a finger/sponge person, or finger and brush for my makeup. This just feels weird. And I feel like it takes longer. And I've never had an issue with like brush strokes. So it's not like I worry about the finish. I know some people like a sponge at the end to get rid of brush strokes, but I don't have that issue. But if you are in the market for a sponge, these, at least right when I bought them, they were like $3 a piece because they're trying them out and they want opinions. But they feel very soft, really nice. I've tried the Trixie ones, the Kimchi ones and Lunar Beauty ones, I think. And then a cheap one from like Ulta or Target. This is nice. I'm liking the way my skin looks. I definitely think the Kosas foundation needs a sponge to like not be too thick. And then my throat has been looking okay lately, so I'm just gonna kind of marry the edges. My throat's always gonna be a little darker right here just because I have stubble. It's a different color than the rest of me. Or it looks cooler. Like sometimes people say like, it looks like I'm put like the wrong foundation there, and it's like, there's nothing, that's just, you know, stubble, and it makes it look cooler. It's better to match, you know, over here than right here. This is the area that gets the least amount of sun and has stubble. Because my facial hair grows ridiculously fast and I hate it. Okay, I like that. I think I need a little bit more coverage there. I remember this being a polarizing foundation. Some people really love it. A lot of people did not like it. But I feel like all of Kosas products are kind of the same. You either love them or you hate them. I don't feel like I'm getting the coverage I want there. Like it's just lifting. So I'm gonna put a little bit of, I'm gonna use my brush. But that's just a problem area of my skin right there. That's not the foundation. And I don't have any other creams here. So I'm gonna powder my face, and I'm gonna use my Kosas powder. I have the Cloud Set in Cushiony. So I also have the neutral in this medium range. I don't remember the name of that one. That one has like a huge pan in it. I have that one at work now as like a backup. And then this one, that one I bought, this one they sent me, and this one is starting to get down there too. Okay. So I am liking the way my skin looks. I think I might actually use this foundation more now that I have some sponges to use it with. Because I like the way it looks on the skin every time I've used it. I just don't like doing it with my hands or a brush as much. I'm just gonna finish the eyes with a little bit of the dark green on a smudgy brush. I'm gonna run that down here. I don't wanna smoke it out too much. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of the subtle shade, the lilac, and I'm gonna put that right here. I'm not gonna blend it into the green too much. I'm just gonna tap it right here just to kind of tie in to the shimmer. I don't want it to get muddy, so I'm not gonna try to blend the two. Just use the clean brush I used earlier to like go over the edges, and I'm just gonna blend the edges down here. Okay, trouble areas. But I'm liking the way that looks. So I'm gonna grab blush and bronzer. So for bronzer, I'm gonna use my old Haus Labs bronzer. I haven't used this in a while since I got the new rebranded Haus Labs and the Trixie bronzer and stuff. But I did really, really love this one and have a huge pan in it. So I have two of these in two different shades. This is a slightly warmer one. And then I have one that's a little bit less warm. That one doesn't have pan, but this one, it's a big pan. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. See if I still like this. And that is definitely a little more red than I go for. Although I feel like in the summer, this might work well. I think that's when I used it the most, was in the summer. Yeah, I definitely like the new Haus Labs bronzer more than this, especially undertone ways. Okay, I think I just got too much on this side in one spot because this side looks better. My hair in the way. And then I'm just gonna use the brush I used to set my face and make sure the edges look nice. Okay, and for blush, I grabbed two. I grabbed my Melt Monarcha palette and the Lunar Beauty Moon Prism blush palette. Not sure which one I want to wear. I don't grab this one very often. I got it in a mystery box and I like it, but it's very pink and I just don't like pink blush on my olive undertone. So I really only use it for like these two, maybe the shiny one, but I feel like Twilight is the main thing that I've grabbed for. And then Monarcha, I do really like. I just haven't used it in a while. And I really love these down here. So I'm gonna use this. I'll use the Lunar Beauty. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of Twilight on a different rougher 5. Lunar Beauty just announced and launched lipsticks. I have not bought any, but there are 2 shades that I think Milk Tea and Tia are the 2 that I was like, ooh. I have not bought any yet, but I do kind of want to try them. The packaging looks really pretty. Let me know your opinions if any of you have ordered them. They look really nice. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of the shiny shade. Yeah, this is a pretty blush palette. It's not my favorite. Like, I feel like it might eventually get decluttered. I just don't reach for it, and it's so pink. And I think I know other people that might like it more because it's so pink. And then they have a second one that's even more like pale skin friendly, so, and pink. So that one's definitely a no for me. Okay. Almost done. Let's see. Hopefully this looks okay on camera. I know sometimes blush looks different on camera than in person. Actually, blush and bronzer. Sometimes I have to put more on than I actually would like in real life, because otherwise I look like I don't have anything on. And then, let's see, for highlighter, I grabbed one of my Kaleidos highlighters. I still grab the yellow one and the like champagne one and the multi-chrome one every once in a while. But the champagne one I use pretty regularly still. But this is Diamond Dasher N04, and it's a really pretty, more neutral champagne, but it's also got a lot of sparkle to it, so that's why I don't wear it very often. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. It's like champagne and pink, but really sparkly. And on a day-to-day, I don't want a sparkly blush or sparkly highlighter. I like a glow from within kind of highlighter. I'm just gonna throw a little bit on. I'm not going anywhere. Definitely a pink shift to this one, and it made a mess. I do really love their formula, but that is more highlighter than I wear on a day-to-day lately. I think I need to add a little bit more blush. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Monarcha palette now, just because I want something a little bit more. I have highlighter everywhere. And I pick up a little bit of Vita, which is a little more pink. And pick up these 2. These are very pigmented. Like especially these darker ones, really pigmented, really love them. So you just need a tiny bit, but they look really nice with my skin tone and the way I do my makeup on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so I'm gonna go throw on some mascara and some lip gloss, and I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. I threw on a little bit of the Tower 28 mascara, used my rougher eyelash curler, and then I put on 2 of my Haus Labs lip glosses. These are from the original Haus Labs line. I have a bunch of these still. Some of them open, some of them unopened that like I just have. I really like this formula. It's thick, but not goopy, and it lasts a really long time. I'm excited to see if they come out with a lip gloss in the new line. So right now they just have the lip oil, but I put on the peachy one and the like brick color, Attitude and Peach Queen. I did a combination of those. Really like the way they look and feel. Attitude is one of my hands down favorite lip glosses. So I really like the way my makeup came out. I really love the shimmer. I'm excited to use the shimmers in this a lot. The mattes are really nice. Don't get me wrong, but what excites me is the shimmers. Really like the way my makeup looks. It's even with the sparkle. Now that I put a little more blush on and kind of finessed the shimmer of the highlighter. Wow, I cannot think today. It is more highlighter than I want on an everyday basis, but I do really like the way this looks for the right thing, like a concert or pride or a party or something. But just on a day-to-day, I tend to do like, even if I'm doing a colorful eye look, I want like a really good skin lit from within kind of vibe versus something sparkly. But when I want the sparkle, I'm glad I have this. Really still love this. This is still good. The undertone is a little more red than I normally like, but I think blended out it looks really nice. And I've got a big pan in it, so I'll probably end up finishing that. Maybe I'll start using it as eyeshadow, like putting that on my eyes on days where I don't want to wear actual makeup. That'll help me finish this without going through my new bronzer that I love as fast. And then the Moon Prism palette, there's a reason I haven't used this in a long time. It's just kind of pale and pink. And like spacey, the shade here is pretty and a little darker, but it's kind of mauve-y, which looks weird against my olive, like the green in my skin. So I really only like, Gravity is fine, this is fine, but it's really pale. So I don't know, this might end up getting put on the chopping block and gifted to someone else, just because I haven't used it since I really got it in that mystery box. And this is why. I've used it a handful of times since, and I don't love it. Really excited that I have a sponge to use this with now. I like the way my skin looks, especially on camera. When I look at my computer monitor, I like the way my skin looks. So this might be a good filming foundation. And really, I mean, I already like the Givenchy concealer. I'm still kind of figuring out every thought on it, so I will make a video once I have more thoughts. I've only had it for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, but really do like it so far. Sponge is nice from Kosas. I do still like this. I don't think I'll repurchase this until the milk one is gone, and then maybe I'll repurchase it. I think I like the milk more. I don't know. But yeah. And I'm really enjoying the new Tower 28 mascara. I understand why everybody's raving about it. I don't know if it's my absolute favorite, but it is a really nice mascara. I think my favorite is still the Isomea. I really like Pat as well, both of Pat's. Especially the Dark Star. I like the Dark Star more than the Fetish Eyes, but this is more affordable and I like it a lot. So really, really like the shimmer. Okay, so let me know. And yeah, I still like the gloss, even though I haven't worn it in a few weeks. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What you think of the palette, what you think of the look, what do you think of these products if you have any of these. Love to hear your thoughts and opinions as always. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.